Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We'd like to start off by giving our honor and glory to
Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Kakodash.
want to give double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings, have the wonders in the house of David the elect. And we out of Hebrew Israelite. All right? And we out here once again, week in, week out, twice a week, and to prophesy the downfall of America, the uplift of the elect of our people. All right? And tell our people who we are, man. All right, and one thing we're doing, all right, is we're waking up the elect out of the matrix through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Because the reality behind the matrix is that America is biblically Babylon the Great, and Babylon the Great is about to be destroyed, man. All right, we're at the we're very close to the destruction and the taking of Babylon, man. All right, I'm overheaded.
Yeah. I got something.
Okay.
You want to let this quiet?
Yeah, I get that out the hills.
Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 43, verse 5. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far and my daughters from the ends of the earth.
Bring my sons from afar, my daughters from the end of the earth. All right, let's go. Hey, that's the taking of Babylon, man. Hey, man, we're in a beautiful time, man. Like, we're really about to transition from one continent to the next, from one era to the next. You see where those fitted caps were about a new era? We're about to enter into a new era of peace, man. It's exciting, bro. Oh, you got it?
Yeah. It says, verse, well, I mean, that's the point. That's the point.
You know, and since you said you enter into a new era, that made me think about we had an opportunity to make history, be a part of history. That's something that's going to forever be remembered.
It's right, bro. Because since you said that, the Most High create legacies out of us, man. Like every time we do a video, every time we go on the highways and the byways, every time we live life for this truth, that's a legacy. Your story, your life, your losses, it's part of your legacy, man. You know what I mean? This is, it's not as if we're building a legacy, right?
Because everything has an origin story. Like the kingdom is going to be an origin story, how every king started in America, and every how it branched out.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be an origin story to all those things.
And really, we're a legacy of the apostles. Because they have a whole era, they have a whole age, within one West, starting with Elder Abba Bivens, going down to High Priest Ariah King Masha, the fights and the wars and the battles of one West, starting with the Elder Apostles, the Elder Apostle Zahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Rakha, Elder Apostle Aramla, Big Brother Gad, all the 30-year history they have. And then we sprung off of them, so we're their freaking legacy. All right, so when they even saw us on YouTube in the name of the Great Millstone, that was like, whoa, we're their fruit.
Yeah.
But even, because what does a branch do? Like a branch has leaves and branches, twigs that creates other leaves and branches. Like that's how you go into the flip blame of the Most High. Yeah. So, but then your camp comes up, and you have men that come up and take notes for months at a time. Next thing you know, they're in the camp.
Yeah.
All right.
The scripture, other men have labored, and ye have entered into their labors.
Yep.
And the Heavenly Father does everything in order. I was thinking about it, when the scriptures, you go into the Gospels, Yahweh Shai, he would always take Peter, James, and John with him.
Yeah.
When you go back to the origin of this thing on this side, you mainly had, King Masha, of course, Elder High Priest Yaquab and High Priest Ariah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes it like things in a certain order.
Yeah.
It's everything. And you have our leaders, that we entered into their labors.
Yeah. That's right. So this is the beginning of something that's going to persist on the other side, man.
It's 144. It's 144. Yeah.
Hey, man, they call him like how much more side, and this brings tears to my eyes, man. Damn near, man. All right, that remembrance, like, damn, we're about to enter into a whole new world. We're no more going to have to hustle and bustle to survive. Strategize how you're going to pay bills. Strategize how you're going to try to have something after you pay bills. You no more gonna have to go on Google to find herbs for certain sicknesses that you just sporadically have.
Looking at stones you can't buy.
Looking at stones you can't buy. Looking at women you can't have. Looking at houses you can't live in, man.
Yeah.
Like I had the
Yep.
women you could have, they so defiled, you don't want them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like shit.
And you know what's heavy out, and I don't want to dwell on that too long, but you will see women that you want, right? And then the Most High allow you to allow her to open up to you, get to know her. You be like,
Close that door back.
Cause you-
I homo faded back in the bushes.
Because you realize, like, I like how you look. When you open up your world to me, it's like,
Damn.
So the idea of her.
yeah, I like the idea of it. Then you realize that you've been in the truth for a good minute.
Yeah.
You've been out of the world for a good minute. And she been in the world for a good minute. And that's not to say the sisters that repent and, you know, go born again, no, we embrace you. The spirit of Yahweh Shai embrace you. But just the reality of the matrix, you know?
Yeah.
Let's go, bro.
This Galatians, I want to read the NLT. This Galatians 6:14. As for me, may I never boast about anything except the cross of our Lord Yahweh Shai. Because of that cross, my interest in this world has been crucified, and the world's interest in me has also died.
Oh, is somebody get
Wow.
Colossians? Ooh, because that's a powerful
Yeah,
scripture.
yeah.
Colossians 2. You are Daniel, I can see you with Yahweh Shai.
Hey, because if you really in this truth, the world doesn't intrigue you, man. Like you don't vibe with it. Like you said yesterday, we got a world within ourselves.
Yeah, like, cause you was naming the things that constitute that world, man. And I can recollect, I know we name incense.
Yeah.
You know, the way we eat.
We talking about, nature, elements.
Nature's part of our world, man. And we went to that Mediterranean joint yesterday, right? And then the Ishmaelite, he was like, "What do you know about Baku, bro?" Because I made sure when I asked for it, I said it how they said it.
Yeah.
He was like, "Wait a minute, what do you know about Baku?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Come
yeah.
on, man, we do this, man.
That's our shit, man.
That's our shit,
That
man."
used to Jake being culture.
Right.
That's the trace of a prince.
Yeah, come.
Like a prince can move around,
Yeah.
and he culture. He knows something. He know a little something about everything.
Right.
He know enough to have a dialogue about it. He might not be an expert in
right.
everything, but he know enough. To be cultured.
A well-rounded individual.
Jack of all trades.
Because
That's it.
Elder Michael Allen from Dallas, he made a beautiful point. Like in the kingdom, brothers, hey, I might send my sons to this brother's province, for about 2 decades, man, just so he can be cultured in that area of the earth.
Yeah.
It's
That's
vice
nice.
versa.
That's nice.
Yeah. We finna operate like the new era, man. This bullshit,
Well, wait a minute, bro, and then it's for a purpose.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you gotta make a prince.
Yeah.
Like they say in that movie, man, kings are born, they're made.
Made.
But ever since that boy is 4 or 5 years old, he's been cultured under tutors, all right, and teachers. What are they tutoring you, man? Or you got one tutor that's gonna teach you? Because they said Akbar from the Ottoman Empire,
Yeah.
he was versed in like 5 languages by the time he was 10? So, but why? Because you have to converse with these different other kings and princes. All right, how do you? Because like a merchant, right? A lot of merchants in the ancient world, they knew several languages. That's how you conduct trade. If I know 3 or 4 languages, that opens me up to your world and your trade, man.
Yeah. But how you gonna go conquer if you don't understand that language?
Right.
They can be telling you what they finna do to you, and you don't even understand.
Right.
You
Exactly.
see? Like you say, so yeah, you got it. That's a trick. So the prince to be cultured. I got that example.
Let's go, bro.
This go back to Galatians. This was dealing with us as a nation, because the Lord, He was grooming us to be royal.
Yeah.
It says Galatians 4:1. Now I say that the heir, as long as he a child, different nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all,
Yeah.
but is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father.
Like Deacon Mike and Allah said, he'll send his seed to a brother's providence for 2 decades. Well, that means you're his tutor for 2 decades.
Yeah.
Whatever your expertise is,
Yeah.
and you had this brother under Malak Kazaki Allah, right?
Yeah.
You had a brother under him, and in a decade, he's an expert on gemstones.
Yeah.
He's an expert on essential oils.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he can dance on the side. Like, okay, he's like
Good work.
good worker. Like, they just picked up a little everything for the brother. But like that's how you groom a man.
Yeah.
Because the men that's been groomed on this side, that's why they're famous. I was looking at Nick Cannon has a documentary out. I thought it was pretty interesting because he was writing for Kenan and Kel.
Yeah.
Nick Cannon but he was writing at 17
Yeah.
for Kenan and Kel.
Wow.
He was doing stand-up since he was 12 or 13. You see? So like going into like being groomed for 2 decades. Then the interview was like, he was like, man, it takes 10,000 hours to be a master or something. He was like, so by the time you was 21, you had hit that 10,000 hours. Because he started, he was like 12, 13. But he was making mixtapes and demos as a rapper when he was 12, 13.
That proves that's when you become a man.
When you 12, 13. So he was doing it for fun at 10, 11. But he was just, Nick Cannon was naming these different spaces he existed in since he was like 12, 10, out there in Southern California. So it was like by the time he was 19, he was that guy. You know what I mean? So just imagine you did all Israelite sons like that. I be thinking like, damn, even on this side, what if you had like, I'll just make it real quick. You got brothers in the camp, right? They've been raised by their uncles and grandddads. They've been working with their uncles and grandddads since they was 8 years old. Riding tractors in the country since they're 8 years old. All right? Playing sports since they're like 10. Now they're like 21, they got a house, got a wife. All right, they got hustles and businesses. Why? Because they've been under tutors really since they was like 8. Cultivated.
If I can land back to the point,
Yep.
no, because basically, everything you're saying is within reason and it's within purpose.
Yeah.
Like you got somebody, I'm not sure, I think it was a woman, but you know, the brother Yashalom from the main camp, he had shared the post. Basically, you know, this woman was asking, do we marry people in Great Millstone? You know, I want to say, you know, you got Deacon Hakah of the infamous Sakari. You know, they gonna do what they do. They gonna talk what they talk. But basically, I want to say they marrying people now. Well, that's not consistent with prophecy, man. And pretty much we're getting the backlash of that because like we a camp that don't do it. But everything the Malak is naming, along with this brother here and this brother here, is within reason and it's within purpose. Basically, we come into Yahushai's kingdom. That's when we're going to do these particular things that y'all want to do now, man.
And we talk about sovereignty and power. Arranged marriages and marrying a brother with this sister. That's when you exist as a sovereign nation. It really wouldn't make sense to do that now.
And then, like I said, you don't need men of great millstone marriage, man.
Yeah.
Because under 2 witnesses, let everything be established. All you need is you and that woman and the Most High. That's the marriage.
Yep.
And then if you're an Israelite man, guess what? Yahushua opened the priesthood to every brother. So you have that authority as a priest.
Yeah,
Under Yahushua, with you and your woman and the Most High, and you can ordain your own marriage, man.
Right now it's spiritual.
Yeah.
In the ancient world it was physical.
Yeah.
But we had this big marriage but like you said, like we're in a time where everything, hey, thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. You are a priest within yourself, man.
Yeah.
It's spiritual on this side.
Yeah.
It's private on this side. Man.
And it's sad, it may hurt for you to hear it. What the Malak just named is what people in the world term shacking. But that's marriage according to the scriptures, man.
Yeah.
You know, just because our foreparents, you know, they may frown upon it, they in the world.
Yeah. But they say frown on shacking, but they ain't pork.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then they'll frown on shacking, but they all had sex before so-called marriage.
Check that out.
Yeah. Like a lot of people, they'll commit adultery like a motherfucker until you get so-called married.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll try to holler at your woman if you ain't got a ring on her hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hypocrites.
Hypocrites, man. Like,
Self-righteous.
it's self-righteous, man. Like, it's bullshit, man.
Matter of fact, I got that.
You had to say it?
Yeah, I see that the Colossians.
Let's go, bro.
So Colossians 3, I'm reading from 1 on down to 3.
Okay, come.
If ye then be risen with Yahushua, seek those things which are above, where Yahushua sitteth on the right hand of Yahweh.
And what's that above, man? The kingdom. Being kingdom-minded, you know what I mean? Man, your whole mindset will change. Your actions in life will change if you orient yourself towards the kingdom, man. Seeking the things that are above. They ain't talking about dying and going to heaven. It's about being kingdom. Yahushua was next world oriented. Yahushua was moving in the development of disciples to move for the next world. All right?
Set your affection on things above,
Yeah.
not on things on the earth.
Yeah, like joining up, marrying each other, like allowing another man to marry you with a woman. All right, and a lot of those congregations, we always hear about stories of adultery, man. All right, that's your situation. And then I'm gonna tell you something else. your thing is classified as shacking, it'll be way more peaceful than going out of having those official marriages, man.
Yeah.
People might look down on it, but y'all might have more peace within y'all thing
Yeah.
than the world's
Yeah.
$20,000 wedding
Yeah.
that y'all finna get a debt over, and y'all divorced in 3 years.
And it's basically really to like to please other people. When you think about it.
Yeah, like,
And the woman make it about the woman make it about her.
yeah.
She come for everybody to stand up when the woman comes down.
Yeah.
It's a whole ritual with that shit, man. You know, but like the brother said, we being kingdom minded, man.
Yeah.
Like you say, this starts with how we operate now.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we all kings, but guess what? We kings that serving each other, man.
Yeah.
Hey, because if a brother might be going through something, guess what, man? Another brother got to step up and hold it down till that brother get back online.
Yeah.
Like in the kingdom, a brother might
Man.
have to go with Yahushua to set up a new planet, you know?
Yep.
And then he leave his sons in charge, and then he be like, hey, bro, my son's in charge over there. Go check on them every now and then, make
Yeah.
sure everything, you know, just every now and then. So when he come back, everything in order. Like this is when we was talking about kingdom minded. Like we really start moving like this now, because we moving like this on a micro scale now. But when Yahushua come, he gonna macro this thing, man.
Yeah.
You know?
It's going to the next level.
And,
You know?
and what is a kingdom? It's a government.
Yeah.
So, we're being groomed to really run governments. So, going back to your sons holding down your stand while you help your house side develop a planet. Because you got some on this side called land developers. So, you'll see flat land, right?
Yeah.
But you have land developers who's going to turn that particular area into a city, to a dwelling. So, I believe through the Spirit, we're going to be land developing. Urban, we call it city development. That's going to be our whole thing. So, you're going to be engineering your sons to be builders. All right, and also maintainers, because we got to build and maintain societies.
Be administrators.
Be administrators,
Yeah.
all right, because like I said, we say the kingdom, and we think about us flying with a cape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, man, we're gonna really be maintaining humanity.
Yeah, landing.
That's right. Yeah. Like, come on, man, that's the accolade of it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, right. It's beautiful. Like, you have to manage paradise. Have you ever been around like a botanical garden or like a garden or a paradise you gotta pay to go to, and then what happens? You lose funding, poor management, then you go back and it's ruined. It's on this side.
It's Jackson Zoo.
That's Jackson Zoo, right? You have to manage paradise. There's rules that have to be put in place. You got it, brother.
I got quick. Yep. This Luke 19 and 16. I read NLT for the point in verse 17. Luke 19 to 16. The first servant reported, "Master, I invested your money and made 10 times the original amount."
Yep.
Well done. The king exclaimed, and the king is Yahushua. You are a good servant. You have been faithful with the little I entrusted to you,
Yep.
so you will be governor of 10 cities as your reward.
That's the kingdom. That's the reality of crowns being put on the elect head, man.
It ain't a little cute.
Yeah, it ain't the little cute. That's the difference between the elect and the rest of the nation. The rest of the nation is not out here teaching. They are going to be citizens within Israel. We are going to be governors. So it's not this ego, like, okay, I got it. Like you said, it ain't just to be cute. I got my crown, I got my concubines, you know, I'm drinking,
My big gauntlet.
Yeah, man, my
Little
big
John
gauntlet.
Yeah,
just drinking, and you just kind of out of it all day. Like, no, because what was King Solomon doing when he was a king? He was managing matters. That was civil matters. Like the two harlots that was fighting over the baby, that he had a decision, he had an answer. We're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
You have to manage humanity. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. Finish.
No, we have to manage humanity. That's why I said you're going to be kings and priests, because the heathen are not going to be a part of the new covenant. They're not going to be made righteous innately. So they're going to have to have sacrifices for their sins.
Well, yo, we ain't gonna make no sacrifice. Pastor, all right.
Oh, salak. But we're going to have to manage the heathen, man. All right? You're going to have to manage humanity. All right? That's confirmation, man. Yeah. We're going to have to manage humanity.
I was just gonna add, like you said, with King Solomon, the 40 years of peace came with him, like you said, with him managing that time period, because you think about 40 years, but you gotta think about how 40 years is to us. You got a year, you got different situations that go on throughout that year, and you gotta manage it, because Israel wasn't perfect. So Israel had problems, but like you said, you had a righteous king with his mind set on managing the kingdom. That's how the kingdom, the nation of Israel was established during that time period.
So this is what we're coming back into, man. You know, like this is why we always go into, like, we have to understand what we're becoming. You know, we're not just here, okay, to look deep, you know, and bring out all these precepts. Like, nah, we have to understand what's coming to the world, what Yahweh Shai is about to bring to the world, man. And that's a whole new kingdom, a whole new rulership, man. You know, Yahweh Shai is going to bring that new era, as the point is going into, man, a new era of reigning in righteousness, man. That's what this thing is all about. It's the good news.
And what is righteousness? Maintaining the laws, statutes, and commandments in the earth. You have the laws are there to maintain paradise. This planet Earth that we inhabit was originally meant to be a paradise, man.
They said maintain, imagine, you know, the Father's business.
The Father's
Like,
business, man.
Basically, like the Father handing off the business to Yahweh Shai and his people. So it's a family business now. You know, think about
You
it.
don't get it. You don't get. I mean, y'all get it. Now I see why the Spirit been on me to look at certain things, right? Like Elam, right? They have within their custom to manage wealth within the family. So the whole thing is we have to pass down this wealth to our predecessors. How do we keep the wealth in the family? So the families have a bank within the family. They have lawyers within the family to maintain the wealth in the family.
Man,
So that's how you see Ishmael and Elam. They have their sons at the gas station, their daughters at the gas station, because they're gonna pass down these systems of entrepreneurship to their sons and daughters.
Con.
You know? Same thing in the kingdom. Yahweh is going to pass down the systems of running the earth to the elect.
And that system continue on, like you say, for generations and generations. Because you don't even know where they live. You never know where they live, where their kids go to school at.
Right.
All you know is you see them at the gas station,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, they own it.
They own it. And you start them off as sons and daughters. That's when we came into the truth. We came in as babies. Our spiritually, she might have been 30, 40, but you were still spiritually a baby. But then you started to be groomed into rulership. The disciples are really being groomed into rulership, man.
You see that going with Elam, what do? They start those children off at base level, taking out the trash in the store, help them stop, unload trucks, you know, doing the minuscule things, and then they grow into, okay, they own them, man. And that's what the Lord is doing with us with the earth. That's why we the tail. You know, there's him starting us at the bottom, and we're working our way up, man. You know?
Yep, and it's definitely from the Father. It was the car that drove out with an 8 on it. It's the Father, the Father doing all this, man. You know, and even just a quick footnote, because you see that we don't have sisters part of our congregation. We know it's, you know, certain women that keep up with us, and that's a beautiful thing. You know, for you sisters that sincerely believe and subscribe to the message of salvation, of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, y'all gonna be rewarded. But the Heavenly Father, he does make separation. Even going back to Elam, I know sometimes, you know, we will see Elam, the men will walk with the men, the women walk with the women, but to maintain that order. You know?
Yeah, to maintain order and keep folly out the situation.
Yeah.
Man. And it's not to say we don't fuck with women, it's just order.
Yeah.
That's why, like, women being fully covered, it's order.
Yeah.
You know? Even men being fully covered. You know? We're not supposed to be, you know, also, you know,
Yeah, we ain't out here wearing, you know what I'm
get
saying?
our thighs all
Yeah,
out. You know,
yeah,
it's a new
yeah,
style,
yeah,
having your quadriceps all out.
Yeah, with the cut jeans.
Because the
and showing
jeans,
the-
yeah, man.
Shirtless every day.
Yeah, because even in the Eastern culture, like, nah, because even pants really supposed to be covered with your garment on top of your pants.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
We don't get all like that on the west side, on the western hemisphere, but really, the Israelite man supposed to be fully covered.
Yeah, it's just like to quote the Apostle Rakai Yalak. He said it, you know, he was in the spirit, he was mad, because, you know, he grew up, you know, native, you know what I'm saying? Because he Reuben, but basically, like, you know, he's like, you get upset speaking a white man language, wearing the white man fucking clothes,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, so really, like, this, you know, this is way off.
Way
you
off,
know?
bro. You know, Jake used to have a mustache, no beard, goatee,
And goatee, yeah.
you know, all that, man.
Going back to the law, how we meant to manage paradise.
Yeah.
And then also the law protected us from our nature.
Come on, man.
You see?
Come on, man.
Why the woman was covered up, especially if she was married, you know, she would be even, her face would be covered up.
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
because
That's it.
they protect women, you know, and men from their nature of lust, man. You know, so this is why the Lord has this order set up, and you bring a lot. When you do what they call co-ed, you know, when you get to all the environments where co-ed exists, what do you have, man? Hookup culture. You know, college campuses was the
Oh, yeah,
It's hookup culture.
I heard a story when I was a little one, like 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. And they said the Boys and Girls Club used to just be called the Boys Club. It wasn't a Boys and Girls Club. It was a Boys Club. And when they decided to integrate girls with the Boys Club, a bunch of girls got pregnant.
Yeah.
So right when they
It's nature.
yeah, it's nature. Like when they decided to do co-ed like you explained it,
Yeah.
the chicks got pregnant.
Yeah.
And what's high school culture? It's little to do with school.
Yeah.
It's real like, okay, who is his girlfriend?
Yeah.
All right, then it's a fashion show.
Yeah.
It's not, your spirit not the same when there's a bunch of females around you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Popularity come into play.
Popularity come into play.
Yeah. Now you want to fight a nigga.
You gotta win one.
Yeah.
You know, and women, you have a lot of women that was in school making like straight A's and that was introverted until they fell in love with a dude.
Yeah.
And now it's like all this shit went out the window. Now she just caught up with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, nah, man, we weren't supposed to co-ed like that.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's why you had like certain, probably like Catholic churches or something like that, where they had just a strictly males and then strictly female schools. Because now you're able to focus better.
Yeah.
You're able to really learn what you need to carry you on, to do whatever you need to do in life. And then afterwards, that's when you get your man, you woman, y'all work together.
Because you gotta have the basics of living before you join your life with a woman.
Yeah.
If you never maintained an apartment,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You never had just on this side. You never kept a job for an extended period of time, or you never maintained an apartment, you never maintained a vehicle and managed bills. How can you be the man in your situation?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody have to teach you that part first.
She never kept house.
She never kept house.
But you know, like you said, they pregnant.
Yeah, but she pregnant.
You know?
You know, she did mastered the art of posing on social media,
Yeah.
but actually managing or
Yeah.
keeping house.
And that's a scary judgment that's gonna happen to you women that's basically in love with your beauty, you know? That Queen of Heaven image, that's gonna be broken. You know? That's sorcery, man.
That's-
Bitch y'all on, on social media, all these fucking pictures and shit. You know?
That's a career in Babylon.
Yeah.
I think that's all.
Well, nah, it is.
It's a career. What you talking about? Posing like that shit a career.
They call it IG models and shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you're basically, your body is being deified.
Yeah.
You know?
Diana Ephesus.
And women always go on YouTube and say, like women who got married, they say like they have to shake out of that spell of just being pretty in a marriage because it doesn't work. Then they snap into reality like, man, this man has an expectation of me.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the new thing now.
This 1 Corinthians 6:1.
Let's go.
Dare any of you having a matter against another go to the law before the unjust and not before the saints?
Yeah.
Do you not know that the saints shall judge the
Because a
world?
lot of times you'll come into this truth and you don't know why you're in the truth. Like, why did the Most High call you into this truth, man? Into this marvelous light? You've been called to being a king. You're being groomed. The old you, your alias in Babylon has been destroyed, struck by lightning. Now the Most High is spiritually grooming you to judge matters on the earth. That's what we're going to do in the future. We're judge matters in the earth, man. 144,000 judges, you know? Because what were the sons of God? According to certain history, they were basically judges. City judges are in the garden, man. All right?
We have went into that.
Yeah, that book you had.
City-state.
City-state judges who would basically judge the other nations. All right, because if you notice, some of the most prominent judges on TV are like Israelite judges. Judge Mathis, Judge Joe Brown. I think Judge Julia is a nigga.
She's Syrian, yeah.
I think is she Syrian?
She may be. I have to look it up.
But she got the accent.
Yeah. That's the way she talk.
Even the females, most of the most popular judges are Israelites on TV. And it's like, damn, they're spiritual. The sons of God were Israelites. So they naturally make good judges. All right.
Verse 2 read again, said, do you not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
Right. But the point is the saints, which are Israelites, because according to Psalm, only saints are Israelites. Those who receive the laws of Yahweh are Israelites, man. But the elect of Israel are going to be groomed, all right? Groomed to judge the world, bro. All right?
Yeah.
You want to finish that in Colossians?
Come.
That's back in Colossians chapter 3, verse 2 again. Set your affection on things above,
The kingdom,
not on things on the earth.
Esau's rulership.
For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Yahushua Yahweh.
I think that was the opening scripture you had, or the second scripture. How like basically you killed this life. You killed the Tyrone in his life. You killed that alias, that old man alias, man. But now the new creature is being developed, man. All right, the Most High is developing us, man.
That's a sacrifice.
Yep.
Because as you become dead to the world becomes dead to you. Because the world knows its own.
Yep.
And it's something that you just have to, especially if you was a man, you know, that you can pretty much, you know, you probably had your way with women, but then you come into the truth and, you know, you fall off.
Yep.
You know, or you a woman, you a pretty woman and you was getting the perks of Babylon, you know, queen of heaven, you know, but you come into the truth and you lose those perks.
Yep.
You know, so that's a sacrifice that has to be made. You know, when we come into this thing, like being dead to this world, man, ain't gonna lie, like this shit just feel great.
Yeah.
Like now it's a transition. You know, you gotta get used to that shit. Like, damn, okay, I know why. And all you say, like what you just said, like you come into this thing and you don't even know why.
Yeah, cause it's the reality, right. You gotta know your why. I was watching Bobby Price, and he was explaining like how to keep your longevity in your diet. It was like you gotta know why you plant-based.
Yeah, yeah.
You go to these restaurants and go out to eat, you gonna get tempted.
Yeah.
You gotta remember why you doing this thing.
Yeah.
Same thing in this truth, man. Sometimes you gotta know why.
Yeah.
Like why you not committing adultery? Why you not don't have a hairline? Why you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta remember. Hey, you gotta remember why.
It's part of the bitterness.
Yep.
You know, then like when Dr. Bobby Price talked about the bitterness, like of his detox, he said people complain about the bitterness. I tell them, you know, I'm tasting the results. You know, like I said about how should I taste and see that the Lord is good.
Yeah.
You
right.
know, there's some bitterness in it, but then look at the results of it.
So that's up for the joy set before him.
Yeah.
Because most of us, when it comes to those physical diets, you're on the path of death. Like you're dying slowly, and the diet, the thought of it, the thought of the detox is grievous. But look at a brother that comes out of the detox. Like, man, you're glowing, brother got lean and trim.
Yeah.
Now you're on the path of life.
You gotta shine, man.
Yeah, so the process is always grievous. All right, but like I said, the wages of sin is death. So same thing, we're on a path of death until Yahushua struck us. Until Yahushua struck us, and we had to detox from the world. It tells you in Proverbs 18, a man having separated himself, seeking and intermeddling with all things. That's that spiritual detox. All right.
Psalm chapter 122, verse 1 down to 5. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Heavenly Father. Our feet shall stand within thy gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem is built as a city that is compact together, whither the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks to the name of the Lord. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David.
Yep. They read that, I want to get that in the NLT real quick. What is Psalms
122
and 5?
God.
You know, just to bring it home. You know, show you that it's speaking of actual rulership of a particular family. This is Psalms 122 and 5 in the NLT. And it says, here stands the throne where judgment is given. The thrones of the dynasty of David. You see, so the Lord is reestablishing that dynasty in the earth, man.
Bloodline.
Yeah, man. You know, we're inheriting something that was promised to our forefathers of the Most High, man. You know, it's being established now. He raised up the house of David to fulfill these promises, man. Because Yahushua is going to come reign on what? The throne of David. Okay? To fulfill the promise made to David about him having an heir that will sit on this throne eternally, man.
And the throne of David consists of all these families.
Yep.
It consists of 12 families, man.
Yep.
It's not just Judah.
Yep.
You know, and it's not just the southern kingdom, you know?
Yeah. And that's scary in the side of the heathen.
Yep.
To have all 12 tribes come together as one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why King Solomon had 12 lions by his throne.
Yeah.
12 statues of lions.
Yeah. And I talked to Captain Cosmo last night because of the fight between Canelo and Charlo. Basically, Cosmo makes some spiritual points. He was like, we know what's going on. We just view it as a fight. But people in the world, they view this as black versus Mexican.
Yep.
Like they really, like far as Issachar,
Yep.
they really want, Canelo to win, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause, it's their people. And then, like, as far as, Judah, they really want Charlotte to win. Well, really, like, we know the scoop. We know really we the same people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But the heathen get off on us fighting each other.
Man,
You know?
that commentator said, he said something to the, because it was, I think it was two northern kingdoms. Yeah, but they was beating the shit out of each other. And the commentator was like, this is exciting.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you would say some shit like that, man.
Cracker, man.
Yeah, but it was a Jake beating the shit out of an Edomite, I bet he wouldn't say that.
No,
You know?
no.
When Jake is killing each other, when the northern and southern kingdom is divided, oh, that's exciting, man. When we're the circus in the gladiator ring killing each other.
There's more proof in the kingdom. We gonna have gladiator games with E versus E.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gonna be out in the table. Yeah, bro.
Hey, then when you go into a rulership, what you have is the king, and then what you have around the king is all these different families, aristocratic families, all right, that have a place in the king's court. That's how it's gonna be. Each brother of the 144,000 represent one of those elite families, all right, that's gonna be directly linked to your house shot and their throne of David. Man. In the kingdom, you go to like when you go into the history, it's always the ruler, and then his families, okay, that's within the courts and their ruler that really run that kingdom. That's why you see some movies, the king will make decisions kind of based on how the nobles, what you call the nobles. Those 144,000 are going to be those noble families within the throne of your house shop.
You got something, bro?
What you just said.
Well, yeah, because I thought about King Ahasuerus.
Yeah.
But he was also called King Xerxes, right?
Yeah. We're going to get that. That's,
Yeah, but I was just gonna get the royal court,
Yeah.
the feast.
yeah.
Cause he had like 126 provinces.
Yeah.
You ever about the shop?
Wow, man.
Cause he had like 100. Cause there was princes and governors over all those provinces, man.
Yep. He
Come
called all to,
Yeah, man. Showing you that this is the ancient world. Come on, man. You know?
You're going to get yours first.
Yeah, you can get your
It's Isaiah 32:1. It says, "Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness,
Yeah, I was shocked.
and princes shall rule in judgment."
And that's not a metaphor. That's not like something you just sing in so-called church, man. No, Yahweh Shai is really gonna have a military coup, overthrow the dukes of Edom, and he's gonna replace the rulers of their kingdom with the elect, and he's gonna administer each elect over a certain province, man.
If I can add, like with a coup, what you will have, those families see that the person that's in charge, like, he bad for the kingdom.
Yeah.
So what they'll do, they'll have these secret councils and they already establish another leader. And then they'll set their coup up and get that nigga off the throne and install someone else. All right, that's gonna be better for the kingdom.
Because see, what the elites do, you got Northern Kingdom, right, or in Southern Kingdom in these different countries like Haiti and Nicaragua. If you're not doing the will of the elites, then they'll do a military coup. You know what I mean? And then put an implant, put a puppet there. We're gonna do a little something like that too. But by default, we're gonna overthrow the heathen anyway. You know?
It's the book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Osiris, that is Osiris, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 107 and 20 provinces.
100, I stand corrected, 127 provinces, man.
Yep.
You know what a province is? It's basically like states. So that was like, I think you did the research on it, how much it surpassed America's rulership.
Yeah. I think 2 million square miles.
Yeah, that's why America's at the bottom of the
square acres. Yeah.
2 million square acres. That's why America's at the bottom of the rulership. It's not the most prominent rulership. Right? It's the most low level. Because you had the Babylonian rulership, then the Medo-Persian Empire. You know, but I think Babylonian was superior in other ways, but as far as mass, it was the Medo-Persians. All right?
That's it spread from India to Ethiopia. So I think, India, and you got all Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Jordan. Then you got Northern Africa. So it was from India, where Elon made now, all the way over to Northern Africa today, man.
And then there was no planes. So all this was done on boat and foot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta conquer thousands of acres.
Yeah.
Boat and feet.
It's
I was just gonna say it took time.
yeah. Verse 2, It says that in those days when the king Osiris sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan, the palace, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes, and the princes being before him. You read that in the NLT, it says in the 3rd year of his reign, he gave a banquet for all his nobles and officials. He invited all the military officers of Persia and Media as well as the princes and nobles of his provinces.
And if you watch the movie like One Night with the King, it showed it. And it showed Elon with the tables, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you said, it's really like, what do my men, you make sure that they're in agreement.
Yeah.
And you know, it's really about them, man.
Yeah.
Like you got the governor of Mississippi, right? He get a lot of bad flack because he took that money that was supposed to go to like Jake and food stamps and stuff, and his friend used it and spent it on himself basically.
Yeah.
But what the governor does, I noticed how they move. He really moved for his friends.
Yeah.
The lobbyists that put him there,
Yeah.
the people he really moved for his friends, man.
Yeah.
You know? And like in the kingdom shit, it's gonna be a Howard shot of 144,000. All right, the decisions are gonna be made based off that mindset. You know what I mean?
The king's table.
The king's table, man.
St. John chapter 15, verse 14. It says, ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I called you not servants, but the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you.
And that's part of that table in the council. You know, he's disclosing the will of Yahweh, because you got something called nepotism,
Yeah.
and that's when you help. It goes back to nephew.
Yeah.
A lot of times you put your son on a higher position without merit per se. Then you have cronism. Cronism goes back to cronies. You put your cronies on, you put your friends on, man.
Yeah, I know in the ancient world, like when a man was when a certain man was liked per se or favored by a king, they say, well, you know, this is my cousin.
Yeah.
Like you pretty much like taking them in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
was first Israel.
Yeah. First
Yeah.
Ezra.
Yeah. The cousin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically, like you getting brought into the family.
And even in the Middle East, you watch the princes of Ishmael. It might be 1,000 people in the royal courts.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the royal family ain't just like this size.
Yeah.
Now it's like 1,000 people that belong to the royal family.
Yeah.
Cause you got the like different generations, right?
Yeah.
The
No,
not like the fathers, son, but the uncles, and it's a family. It might be 1,000 people in that family. And the friends of the family, the other rich people that's associated with the family.
Yeah.
You know, it's really about them. They making moves that's going to enrich their kingdom and their family.
and they keep their relationship going, like you said, from generation to generation.
Yeah.
They're gonna be the same way in the kingdom of heaven. There ain't gonna be no generation when we fall off or we don't agree or something. It's gonna forever be a tightly fitted family.
Because you even have certain elite banking families. You know, you watch the history on them. Some of those banking families allegedly lost some of their wealth because they had a poor system of passing it down to the next generation. Where they were like disputes within the family and all that. Like you said, with this family, it's gonna be continuous.
I got a definition. All right, this is cronyisms. It says the appointment of friends and associates to positions of authority without proper regard to their qualifications.
Yep.
Yeah, these are unlearned men.
Yeah.
How they preach with this authority?
Yeah.
How shall I put them on?
Hey, Yahweh Shah, look, because just imagine we walking by the reservoir. You see your dad fishing. Yahweh Shah say, follow me and I'll make you a fisher of men. I mean, he's just a fisherman. You know what I'm saying? You and your dad by a boat, like, I'll make y'all fishers of men. You know what I mean? Like, he took us laymen, man.
Yep.
He took men who grew up in the streets. Now we're disciples. You know, now we're apostles of the doctrine. You gonna say something?
And then he turned around and told him that you and me that followed, you were with me from the beginning.
Yep.
They were there with me from the beginning.
And that's the plot twist. You know, we were with Yahweh Shai in the spirit world, making that covenant with the Most High. We're going to be put in bodies for this particular work to be done, man. You know?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, come.
Yeah. I got you.
Come. The book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 26. And I will restore thy judges is at the first.
And who's the judges, man? The elect, the sons of God. You know, it's the first, and they're going to be restored in the kingdom as ministers of Yahweh's kingdom, the Father's business. Like, hey, because what happens when you perfect the system? You replicate it.
Yeah, franchise.
Because when they first put the first McDonald's, it wasn't the McDonald's that we know today. Some other men took over that business and put a better system in there. When they perfected their system, then they replicated it. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So once you perfect their system, you replicate it, man. So now what the elect are going to do, they're going to make franchises of Jerusalem all over the universe.
Say, in my father's house are many mansions.
Yep. Because you can't enjoy paradise unless you have a system to maintain it.
That's why it says in Isaiah 60, who are these that fly the clouds?
Yeah.
The chariots going to be
Chariots.
going out to these different galaxies in the universe.
Because that's what we did as the Moors.
Yeah.
We was under the influence of Islam, but the empire spread it, all right, through the Moors going on crusades, conquering the enemies, but then making it a Moorish empire, putting Islamic laws. That's why you got Jake in West Africa. There's what? Muslims. All right.
And I will restore thy judges is at the first, and thy counselors is at the beginning.
Hey, when Yahweh Shah went to Peter and said, "Follow me, I'll make you a fisher of men," there was a judge being restored. Because he knew who he was walking up to. He knew he was walking up to King Masha, you know, King David. But he came back in that coronation as layman. But we were all innately kings, man.
But that's heavy too, like showing you, because these men were all, they were top tier
Yep.
during that time. Like I said, King David,
Yep.
you know, and of course Yahweh Shai, because because our Lord was pretty much, able. He was suffering during the time of the Roman Empire too, so what suffering with his disciples.
He came back as the carpenter's son. And this is Yahweh Shai, the second in command of existence in the universe. He came back as the son of a carpenter. So we all came back really as laymen in a regeneration, man, under a conquered empire. Because we were under the Romans, so Jerusalem was conquered. We were all being taxed by the Romans. So we all came back in the reincarnation as just regular men. All right? It's like a Twilight Zone. Like now we're in the Twilight Zone. That's why I said I've seen kings sitting in service upon horses. Like a parallel universe, man.
Possible copy called a bizarre world.
Yeah, man.
Bizarre world.
Yeah.
And I will restore thy judges is at the first, and thy counselors is at the beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converse with righteousness. That's the point.
I got this on Revelation. There's the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 25. But that which you have already, hold fast till I come, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nation. Going back to the Chronia.
Yep.
They that keep their works. The Lord is going to exalt those men. What he say, make them a governor over 10 cities. Because when you have a new regime come in, okay, they set up, all right, leaders under them, that's after their mind. Okay? When the Greeks came into power and they conquered these different lands, what did they do? They set up Greek overlords, all right, to rule their newly conquered land. Well, Yahushua coming to conquer the earth. So he's gonna set up Israelite overlords, okay, to rule different provinces in the earth, man.
And that's if that ain't fucking exhilarating and exciting, they have systems that you can implement to run a society. Go ahead, bro.
It's Matthew 19-28 in the NLT. Yahweh shall reply, I assure you that when the world is made new and the Son of Man sits upon his glorious throne, you who have been my followers will also sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
When it said the world made new, it's talking about a new government, new management, man. Okay, a new regime.
Yeah.
That's the age is going to be made new. The era is going to be made new. Okay? Because going back to ancient empire, man, you went from the age of the Assyrians to the age of the Babylonians.
Yep.
From the Babylonians to the Medo-Persians. Okay? So everything that the Assyrians had established, guess what? The Babylonians came and modified it to their liking, man. Then the Medo-Persians came in and modified the Babylonians to their liking. Then the Greeks, Romans, so forth and so on to what we have today.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the last, like,
Nah, it was absorbed.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that energy was absorbed.
yeah.
You know?
They absorbed it and modified it to what they're like.
That's why you have when you peel the veil, pierce the veil of the American system, it goes back to Egypt.
Yep.
You know, the entities is worship.
Yep.
Semiramis, Tammuz, Christianity,
Yep.
it goes back to Babylon.
Yep.
Because when the Grecians came into power and the Romans came into power, where did they get that structure from?
Yep.
Egypt.
So Edom absorbed all that.
He absorbed
And like I said, and modified it.
and put them,
Modified,
put them,
recycled.
and put them Edomite faces. It was whitewashed.
Yep.
You know.
So it's a beautiful thing, like you said, that we coming into, man. Like, and that's why we always put the emphasis on what we're becoming. You know, we're becoming, all right, joint heirs. You know, and you start thinking like that now on the micro level, and then like I say, when Howard Shah come, he's gonna magnify it on the global level, man.
We
You know?
becoming gods.
Yeah. We right now we on our apprenticeship. You know, we on our apprenticeship, man. And then we're gonna really reap the benefits of rulership at the coming of Yahushua, man. You know, but we gotta keep leveling up in the spirit, man, until we get to that point. Then we're gonna be changed, and then we're gonna rule the earth, man.
Right.
Like this is a reality. You know, this how the world works. Okay, Esau give us Democrats, Republicans, prime ministers, presidents, and that's some bullshit, man. The earth has always been ran by kings, man. And right now, the kings are the elites. These people ain't got no power. And then that's another thing. I know we're getting very close, but it's embarrassing. Like these niggas that got money, but then Esau embarrassed them niggas to show they ain't got no power.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, that's so.
Yeah, man, like that's embarrassing. Like
Yeah.
Kanye was a billionaire, but then he riding around trying to find his daughter's birthday party. Won't nobody tell him what his daughter's birthday party is. But you a billionaire and got all this shit. That shit fucking embarrassing, man.
Nick Cannon gotta apologize for
Yeah,
Sam
yeah. All them niggas.
Yeah,
man.
Ice Cube did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving, all
Stephon
them niggas, man.
Jackson.
It must be all shaky and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. That's embarrassing, man. So you see these niggas ain't got no power. So I'd rather be a layman than be high up. But then Esau pull your car when he get ready, man.
And hold you in the front of the
Yeah.
match.
What Terry Crews, that little feeble, he might came and grabbed his
Yeah.
ride in front of his wife. You know?
That was his boy.
That's fucked up. Yeah.
You know? So yeah, man, like
Yeah.
we just gonna stay down until we get that real power and everything else come after that, man. You know?
And with that, we're going to brush the 65. Once again, we want to give all of the glory to
Yahweh by Shem Yahushua by Shem Kakadash.
Double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who well. Peace and blessings, health and waters, and our step with the elect. Abba.
Abba.
Come out,
Come out, Shalom.
Hey, how about my Shabbat? Shalom.
Shalom.
Shit.